it's great to see you at a Triton event. What was it that made you come to this one?
Well, it's like really near to where I live. I live in Austria, and it was like 1.5 hour flight for me. And yeah, that's definitely a big part why I'm here.
Does it mark your shift into more live poker? Are we going to see you at more of the Triton events?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I really enjoyed it here. I didn't expect that much, and the series full of high rollers only and no like smaller binds suits me very well. So yeah, I like it here.
So when you first started out, could you have even dreamed of getting to where you are now? Was that even in the back of your mind?
No, definitely not. I mean, it was all very sudden that I was playing high stakes. It all really happened within like really 1 year or maybe even less, that I was moving up from $25 to like 5,100 or 25.50. So
What were you doing before poker?
I was at school. I started playing poker when I was 18 and I was still in school. And yeah, I did do an internship just after school for like half a year, and but I quit that and started playing poker professionally. And for the first year, or maybe like less than a year, I wasn't a winning player. And yeah, but then I learned, and I moved my way up from the micro stakes, and it sort of all clicked. I don't know. So like start of 2016 was when it started going up to high stakes.
So did you realize at one point that you really had to study a bit more to possibly make a run in this game?
I wouldn't say study. I just like I just really started to understand like the theory behind it better. I was always like a bit into theory, but I was always a bit held back by the big names and like well, not the big names, but I was always a bit respectful of other people's games, which was what was holding me back.
And when you started making the money and the profits started to roll in, was that the most exciting part of your poker career?
Yeah, for sure. Like moving up to 25.50 and playing with the real big boys of the game was like the most fun for me, and like playing every day against the likes of like OTB Baron and Hecklin at the time. That was really exciting.
And where did the name come from, Linus Love?
I don't know. It's just something that people in high school used to nickname me as. I don't know why, but yeah.
And the UKIPT win in 2016, what made you decide to go there, and how much did that win change things for you?
Oh, I was just visiting friends in London actually at the time. I also poker players, and yeah, I just combined that with playing that. It was a 2K pounds tournament. At the time, I was already playing 10-20 and some 25-50, so it didn't affect me as much, but it definitely helped being more comfortable playing the higher stakes.
And then I read that you moved to Malta with just a laptop and a one-way ticket.
Yeah.
When was that?
That was, when was that? So that must have been like 2014 or 15. Yeah, at the time I was in an internship as a real job, so to say, and yeah, I decided to quit that and play 25 cent, 50 cent on my laptop in Malta.
Was that a scary thing for a young man to do?
It was an adventure. I wouldn't call it scary, but it was exciting for sure.
So you remained quite anonymous until about 2017. Did you quite enjoy the fact no one knew who you were?
I mean, it didn't really bother me too much. Also at the time, like even in the online circles, I wasn't that known. But yeah, I didn't really care too much about if I'm being anonymous or if my name gets public.
So did you watch Victor Blom? Obviously he was sort of undercover as Isildur, and eventually he's unveiled who he was. Did you watch that with interest to see how that went?
I was too young at the time. I wasn't interested in poker when the full tilt days were going on, or I wasn't into poker at least. So yeah, but looking back, I did see what happened with Isildur and Dur and stuff. But what I did watch I wasn't that interested in the online scene, but what I did watch was like the high stakes poker live hands with Durr and Ivy and Doyle Brunson and all these guys. And yeah, I really liked watching the high stakes poker.
So were they your first idols in the game, really?
Yeah, definitely. At the time, like Durr was people would say he's like the best player and stuff, and he would be this young, crazy guy. He would be the first idol in poker.
Now, on your way up, was there many times you went broke and had to restart all over again?
Not really, no. At the start, of course, when I deposited $200 or whatever each month or so, or every other month, and but when I started playing professionally, I didn't go broke really. I did come close to it, but not really broke.
Were you good at holding back from taking the big shots, or would you occasionally go for it? How was your bankroll management?
I would definitely occasionally go for it, but I got really lucky that I also had like some big tournament scores whenever I would come close to having to move back down again. It's like my biggest enemy was always 25-50, no limit. That stake always evaporated my bankroll, but for some reason I always won a tournament whenever I was on a big downswing there, so to save me from having to move down.
Where would we find you online now? What's your favorite games these days?
Well, I like No Limit Heads Up a lot. I mean, I would love to play half-half No Limit PLO Heads Up. I think that's a great game. Well, it's basically 2 games, but no one really plays that anymore. And yeah, other than that, I really like No Limit Heads Up or the 300, 400 No Limit games, especially with antes.
Now, obviously online, crazy results for yourself, but live we haven't seen many recorded results. Why have you stayed away from the live game?
Why I haven't played more of these is mainly because like the traveling aspect of it is really exhausting for me. It's hard to get into like a good routine when you're traveling all across the world just to play like high rollers. So I just mainly played the ones that I could combine with holidays, like Barcelona at the beach or here, that weren't too far away and had some decent high rollers.
And you made your biggest cash this week with Triton in the first event. How was that for you? It must have been a nice experience.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, it actually was my biggest cash. I mean, it was nice that like it happened on the first event already on the final table and cashing, but it wasn't like a huge score. But it definitely felt good at least.
Is part of the reason you're looking a bit more at the live game that it's harder to make money online now? How much has it changed online?
No, I don't think that's. I mean, online obviously it's harder. It gets harder every year, but it's still. I think I still have a good yearly EV online, but it's just it's always nice to get some change from online. Like grinding every day can get kind of boring and stale. So like going outside of your house or apartment and playing some different kinds of poker, as in live poker, is always a nice option.
And when you're playing the live events like this one, do you struggle with patience because the amount of time all these hands take?
No, I think it's nice to be able to relax in your seat and drink a coffee while you play. You don't have to hurry or anything. You're not in a rush. I think it's more relaxing than. I don't lose patience.
Do you worry about giving away physical tells to these guys?
I used to worry a bit more, but like especially during this series, I think like it's more. It's not. I don't think these people pick up on a lot on me. I still try to like do the same stuff every time I'm involved in a hand, but they definitely. I would give them the edge of like accumulating the life reads, but I don't think it's gonna give them a significant edge over me.
And what do you think about the short deck version of the game?
I'm not a big fan of short deck. It's I think especially No Limit short deck seems like a bit of a broken game, if I can say that. I think in theory It's just supposed to be a lot of all-ins pre-flop, especially with like 40, 50, 60 antes. And I think once people get better, like in every game, it will become less popular because I think it's quite simple, especially pre-flop.
And we've seen a lot of players come and go, both online and live, in the last few years, but you seem to be on this continued success trail. What is the secret behind that?
I mean, there's not a big secret, of course. I think I just like work a bit harder than most people, especially online, and I think I have a good attitude towards the game, as in I'm very ambitious about. I've always been very ambitious about becoming the best, and it seems like most people don't have that anymore, at least, or at least when I was coming up. And I think once you're like at the top, it's it's easy to remain at the top in online poker, at least.
And are you planning to play some cash games here in Montenegro?
If there's going to be any cash games, I will play, yes, but I'm leaving very soon, so. But I would love to play some live cash games.
You're still a very young man. Do you ever think about the future, what you'll do in 10 years, 20 years?
No, I like to not think about that at all, actually. I like to take the decisions in my life spontaneously.
And are you still into Pokemon, or have you caught them all?
I'm still into it, I would say. I like the game. It's a good game.
Okay, well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Linus,
No
and
worries.
thanks for talking to us, and good luck in the cash games.
No problem.